Hi, so this week I am talking about enforcement, penalties, sanctions, all the bad things that can happen if your influencer marketing breaches the rules and regulations here in the UK and over in America. So to start with, I am going to talk about what happens with the ASA and their sister body CAP. So the ASA, as you know, investigate complaints about ads. They usually publish their formal rulings on their website, and those formal rulings, particularly if they're about influencer marketing, will get picked up by the media. So this is one of the key ways in which the ASA can ensure that their rulings are noticed and abided by. So it's the negative publicity element. If that's not working, the ASA have another whole host of sanctions, sort of a tiered level system of sanctions, which they can use and then gradually ramp up. It's their sister body CAP that imposes these sanctions. So CAP can place, for example, a non-compliant advertiser onto a particular page on their website. So they put the name and the details on the website, the nature of the breach, and that page is optimized so that if you're searching on Google, for example, for that particular brand, the idea is that you will come across this particular website page and read the breach before you read about your brand or find your brand. Equally, they can also place ads on Google, paid for ads on Google. So these are ASA ads that contain a little bit of a warning about the brand and the nature of the breach. And again, these are optimized, so you should those should appear as close to that brand's name on that brand's listing as possible, potentially even above it. And finally, there's trading standards. So the ASA and CAP can refer advertisers, non-compliant influencers, for example, to trading standards. And then trading standards have their own list of sanctions and penalties that they can impose. So they can take an advertiser to court, they can impose penalties. There's the potential for imprisonment depending on the nature of the breach or the regulation that they've breached. So trading standards is the final level. They're the legal backstop to ASA and CAP. And if things are going terribly wrong, that's who the ASA and CAP will turn to. There's also in the UK the CMA, the Competition and Markets Authority. So that's the other body. And we know they've taken action in January this year against a range of influencers. So what they did in that case, or in those cases, is they wrote to them and secured assurances that they would comply and make sure that all disclosures were clear and transparent in future. So that's one way the CMA can take action if they spot breaches. They take this kind of group action, but they can take action against individual agencies, influencers, brands. And again, it could be just seek assurances, but equally they can take court action, again, civil, criminal, but there's the potential for imprisonment even. So they've got some severer penalties at their disposal. And moving on to the FTC, very similar to the CMA in that the first stage is sort of written letters, warnings, but they also have some more severe sanctions. First off, they can also ask about your compliance strategy. So they could inquire a bit about, what you as a brand, agency, company are doing to ensure that your influencer marketing is throughout the campaign is compliant. So what's the strategy? What are you doing? So ensure that you have that strategy in place. It can help you with that. And they can also have the ability to not impose fines. That's not what they do under the FTC Act, but they can require a brand who has profited from a breach to repay that money. So it is a financial penalty. That's it. That's the quickest rundown I could do on the financial sanctions and penalties. Obviously, the talk about imprisonment and the hefty fines is if there are repeated breaches or at least at this stage. I mean, we haven't seen that from the FTC or the CMA yet. But, let's see what happens. Keep an eye out on their websites to learn, what's going on with them. Or keep an eye out for my updates. Thank you.